Hello and welcome to the DroneOCan YouTube channel. Today we are doing a geocaching video. We're out here in the Jumpingpound Demonstration Forest on Highway 68 in Kananaskis country, Alberta. And when I say we, I just mean Mabel and myself. Emily had some other engagements to take care of today, so Mabel and I decided to take advantage of this really nice day. It's mid-teens in terms of Celsius, partly cloudy, but there's no snow right now, and we don't have many of those types of days left this year. So enough with the introduction. Let's jump right into the video and let's go do some geocaching out here. So this is kind of a little bit of a challenge. First stage of the virtual cache is to get a photo of yourself, your GPS or whatever, in front of the sign here at the entrance to the demonstration forest. So I've got a dog tied to one hand. That hand is holding the video camera, which is why things are shaking around like crazy. And Mabel is being a real pain. She's very anxious to get out and start exploring. And the other hand is here to get the selfie. And of course, right in the middle of that whole disaster is when the first car I've seen today has to come wandering by and wonder, what the hell is this guy doing talking to himself out in the middle of the woods? So the things we do for YouTube. You better appreciate it, and you can show that appreciation by hitting the like button. I never ask people to do that because that just seems like, I don't know. But everything says, you know, if you want to grow on YouTube, you have to ask. So I'm asking. So with that rather awkward task complete, we're heading off to stage 2. And if the people in that car that just drove by are heading to where I think they're heading, which is the next stage of the cache in the little building that houses some interpretive signs, I'm going to take a little bit of time before I catch up with them so, you know, I can avoid the whole awkward, hi, I'm that weirdo that was talking to himself not that long ago. So, yeah. Although I really shouldn't say I'm talking to myself, because we are just a couple subscribers, 2 or 3 short of 1,900. And then from 1,900, hopefully it's just a little jump up to 2,000. So we're growing slowly but steady. Now, a couple little housekeeping items as we drive up to the next stage here. If you've been on the channel for any length of time, you may remember I actually did do another video out here about the Jumpingpound Demonstration Forest, so you can check that out if I remember to put a card up here. And the second bit of housekeeping is, if the cache owner or any other cachers are worried about spoilers about the the virtual cache here, there will be none of those. So let's head out here to stage 1. Okay, they've had their chance to enjoy the building. Looks like they grabbed a little cooler and coffee and took some time here. We're going to go in. We have 3 bits of information we need to gather off of the signs inside the center here. So we need to find the 3 tribes that were thought to be dominant in the valley into the 1700s, the year the Jumpingpound Demonstration Forest was created, and on the wildlife panel, the name of the last bird in the list of birds. So let's go do some hunting. So there we go. I went through, got my information from the 3 different signs that I needed. I'll have to make sure as I edit this video that I didn't accidentally include any of the answers for the cache. And unfortunate, I'm shooting into the sun here, but beautiful view of Moose Mountain and Cox Hill from this vantage point. There's been a lot of activity going on here. There's this brush pile, and while we were waiting for those other people to clear out, Mabel and I wandered through the woods here, and there's a whole bunch of these, like maybe 6 or 8 piles of brush like that, where they have cut down some trees and piled them up. And as you can see here, there's fresh piles of gravel and a pallet of bricks. It looks like there's been a lot of work done here for maintaining the building. But let's go see if we've given those other people enough of a head start that we can go to the next stage and head out. All right, next stop here, a trip back in time. Walking down to an old sawmill area here. A little windier here than it was at the last stop, but let's go check this out. So what I'm looking for down here is a Hensley Ripper, and there's some teeth on it with a model number, and I need the model number of those teeth. So let's just go check it out. Now, I have been here before multiple times in the past, and it's kind of nice coming back and revisiting places with different purposes in mind. You know, last time I was here was to make a video. I've done some geocaches in this area before, and coming down here again this time, it gives me again a different focus because I'm looking for different things than I was the previous trips. Let's see if we can find this Hensley Ripper. Look at the sawmill here. And if I remember correctly, I believe it's down this pathway. Sad that that poor sign has been shot up so badly. Yes, I believe this is the Ripper here. So let's go find a model number. So to give you a little idea of what this device was used for, this sign explains how after the wood has been harvested or the trees have been harvested, they use a process called scarification to basically, well, as it says right here, it exposes mineral soil in areas of deep moss cover, providing sites for conifer seed germination and growth. And just over my shoulder there is one of those devices that is used for that scarification process. I don't want to get too close because I don't want to give away the answer. Let's kind of come in here and get a closer look at this 1950s era portable sawmill. According to the sign, they could rip enough board feet of lumber to build a single 3-story house by 1956 standards. They could rip enough board feet per day, I should say, to build a 3-story 1956 house. You know what? Let's try that again. They could rip enough board feet with one of these portable sawmills per day to build a 3-bedroom house by 1956 standards. All right, work our way back up to the truck and move on to the next and final stage. And then a little bit of a wet stop here as we're at the trailhead for Wetland Trail. This is not really a long trail, but I just need to go out here and find some information about the three plants listed on the types of wetland sign. This is a really nice short little trail. Goes out to a nice wetland, as you would expect based on the name. And I don't really think a lot of people stop and check this out if they're doing the Jumpingpound demonstration loop. I think they typically just kind of skip by it. Here we go, out to the boardwalk where the signs are that have the information we need to gather. And that's going to do it for this virtual cache. I've got pictures of all the information I need, so I'm going to be able to go back and log all that off my photos. So nothing left to do for this cache other than just kind of spin the camera around and let you take a look at this nice wetland area here. Okay, so I apologize for the change in audio quality, but I left the external camera and microphone back in the truck because I didn't really think this was going to be that interesting. But I'm attempting to do a cache called Fun in the Forest, and as close as I can get to it while maintaining some sort of trail or road has been 250 some meters. So now we've got a bushwhack ahead of ourselves, and we got to get up that hill. So let's go see. Even Mabel's got that look of like, what the hell are you doing, man? So like I said, there's no real trail now, but this sort of looks like it could be a bit of a game trail that we can use to climb up there. So at least there's not a ton of deadfall yet. I don't know. It looks like we get up to the top, I see sky and the trees flatten out. So it looks like some sort of a ridge, which is good. We have had some snow, or there was some snow about a week ago. So the trail is a little bit muddy underneath all these dead leaves, but there's been enough trees and roots and things that footing hasn't been an issue. So let's keep going. Knocked our distance down to about 147 or 148 meters to the cache. Trail seems to be going in somewhat the right direction, so let's see what we can get. I also just realized my phone was still set just in HD, not 4K, because I was recording a video for work that I needed to send to a vendor. And so I had dropped the resolution down. So anyway, I followed that game trail, got to about 85 meters from the cache or so. The trail kind of was going in the wrong direction. So we jumped off of it, started beelining towards the cache, and look at what we found here. Yeah, we emerged out onto a road. Appears to be fairly new construction, and it does not appear on any of my topo maps. So I had no idea this was here. This probably would have made a much easier approach, but undoubtedly a lot less fun. Okay, made it to ground zero. Now it is a micro cache, and there have been a few people who have reported it was kind of hard to find because with typical GPS accuracy in the woods, you know, it could be anywhere within a 30-foot radius here. And if it's that small, this could be a bit of a challenging hunt. So sometimes you got to hope you get lucky more than you use your skill. Let's see what goes on here. Now, I don't like to criticize other cachers, especially in the off chance they happen to be watching this video. But I just checked the hint because I've been searching for a while and I've had no success. And the hint says attached to a tree. Well, if we take a look around here, that doesn't help a lot. I mean, that's what I like to call a non-hint hint. Like at that point, you don't even need to really bother leaving a hint. So I just read through some of the previous cache logs. A couple things jumped out at me. Number one, this cache has not been found since January of 22. So it is over 2.5 years since anyone logged a find on it, which makes me a little concerned that there have been a lot of people who have not found it and just didn't log that online, because this is a fairly popular hiking area, even if this particular cache is kind of out of the way off the trail. The other thing that struck out at me was one of the early logs said it took them a while, and when they found it, it was much lower than they thought. So assuming things haven't changed in a few years, I'm going to focus my search a little bit lower to the ground than what I normally do. I usually expect in the woods that they're going to be up around eye level. So let's go continue our hunt and see if maybe Mabel can sniff this one out. All right, I just spotted it. That took probably about 5 minutes or so since I last recorded a clip here. So I was just kind of standing here staring off into the woods thinking, man, this is like the start of a Sasquatch video or something, where it's like, this man was in the woods hunting for a geocache when? But as I was thinking that, I turned around and I looked, and there it was. You see it? If not, here, let's move you in a little bit closer. There it is there, matchstick container hanging on down low on a tree branch. I don't really think that's too much of a spoiler, because if you can find it based off of this video, more power to you. There we go, a look at the last log. J2D2, January 30th, 2022. So let's call it 2.5 years. There we go, got our names scratched in there, DroneOCan and Mabel. Not the nicest handwriting, but it's hard to do when you got a dog tied to you. But we're basically just trying to retrace our steps back down this hill without taking a very fast way down. Well, if I shoot into the sun, maybe you can see it on camera there, but it's starting to rain. Now there is another cache about 1 kilometer down that pathway I had hoped to get while we were in the area. But if it's going to start raining, even though I'm sure it will pass quickly, the one thing I did not bring with me is rain gear. So I don't want to get wet and get chilled. I mean, I'm not far from the truck, so I'm not really thinking I'm in any danger. It's just more a matter of being comfortable. Mabel and I have had a good day out here on the trails. Why screw it up? After all, there are enough geocaches in the world now that you never need to worry about finding all of them. There's always going to be another one around the corner. So why not just save it for another day? And guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Glad you got to come along and find a couple geocaches with us. Mabel, I know, has had a good time. She's pretty dirty and muddy. There's a reason why I don't want a new truck, because the dog just dirties it up anyway. So having an old beater truck is perfect. Wind is continuing to come up. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you sticking with the channel. I know subscriber counts have been going up and down a lot lately. It's funny, we hit 1,867 subscribers and we were growing like crazy at that point. And then from that point on, it's just slowed to a trickle. So I don't know if we're just not making content you're interested in or what, but yeah, subscriber count really slow. So anyway, we'll see you in the next video.